Hey everyone, what's up? Um, Thought I'd hold on for a sec. Here we go. Thought I'd kind of give you a closer look at a DVD set that I was surprised to find out about through one of the Facebook pages or Facebook group pages I'm on. Now, we all know that for most of us, excuse me, for most of us, we pretty much completed the G1, I guess you could say, or the original 80s to mid 90s cartoon version, the first cartoon series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've completed it. I'm sure a lot of people have completed it, and I'm sure a quicker way for a lot of people is to get the party van set that is, I think, available still, but it's kind of hard to. I think it's still kind of available, but at times could be hard to come by. Anyway, with that said, after that, of course, we got various releases of the 2K series, the 2K3 series, I should say, the 2K3 to 2K, the 2003 to 2009 series. We got various releases of that, seasons after, arcs after arcs, then finally the seasons and stuff like that. Well, one series was never released, had never really been released onto DVD, even through all that, and that was the next mutation, which a lot of people try to avoid. A lot of people don't like to talk about next mutation, not even Kevin Eastman, I think, because pretty much it differs from what they originally intended. You see, I don't know if it was Peter Laird or Kevin Eastman that said this, but one of them particularly were not too fond of the fact that they had a fifth turtle added to the group, mostly a female turtle. Now, a lot of conclusions can be made about this due to the fact that they couldn't find an actress to play April, they couldn't find somebody to play Casey, and there was speculation that had a second season been greenlit, that we probably would have seen April and Casey in that one. Just saying. And if that is the case, then the first season, which became the only season for Next Mutation, was basically a season to focus on the new fifth turtle character of Venus de Milo. Now, with that said, we did get a VHS release, which I do have, which is the East Meets West pilot, the 5 episodes. I think there's 5 episodes, I believe. Yeah, it's 5 episodes. So we ended up getting that, and like I said, I ended up getting it, and thankfully this was at a time before 20th Century Fox and even the Fox Kids Home Video division started to go to the copy protect direction, because I was able to copy that from VHS to DVD, and that was my laundry going off. But like I said, I was able to copy that from VHS to DVD. Now, with that said, there were a lot of there was a lot of die-hard fans, even myself, that were wondering that even though it's kind of like a spec, excuse me. Sorry about that. I had to let our cat in the garage. But anyway, like I said, even though it's viewed as a spec, sort of on the radar of a lot of fans and a lot of fans of TMNT, as well as a lot of creators and those associated with TMNT throughout the 30 plus years, there was still some diehard fans like myself that were wondering if maybe that series would get a DVD release, or it would just be regulated to VHS because, with its only release being East Meets West, because of the fact that it's a very infamous adaptation of Ninja Turtles. Now, just a little bit of a brief history on it for anybody that doesn't know. This series was created to, I guess, be sort of a contraction or a contract or I'm trying to say, well, not contract. It was more of a continuation of somewhat, sort of a blended continuation, a mixture continuation of both the animated series that was aired on CBS, as well as the live-action movies, which concluded at that time with Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles in Time. So it was sort of like a mixture of both. It was a continuation of the animated series, as well as it was sort of a blending. It sort of blended in a little bit of the live-action movie as well. Like I said, it sort of blended in a little bit of the live-action movies in there as well, with their own kind of twists and turns and stuff like that. But basically, that's what it was. Now, the only thing that would throw fans off a little bit is if this is a continuation somewhat of the animated series and sort of a continuation of some sorts of the live-action movies, then why is Shredder alive? Well, that's where the continuation of the animated series comes in, because for all we know, this takes place after the animated series, and maybe continuity-wise, Shredder comes back, rebuilds his Foot Clan, but this time with actual foot soldiers, not robots, and we go from there. That's the only thing I can assume. Now, with that said, though, that is basically, in a nutshell, from what I've looked at, other fans have looked at, and I'm sure some people behind the scenes with the Turtle franchise have looked at, as this being sort of a blending, sort of a half and half, sort of a 50-50 continuation of both the animated series and the live action series. So basically, a unique continuation overall. If you want to settle on one, a unique continuation of the animated series in some shape or form. Now, as I said, we were always wondering if it would be the only series, the only Ninja Turtle series not to get a DVD release. Well, thankfully that wasn't the case, because around I think it was 2014 or 2014 perhaps. 2014. I think it was 2014. I'm pretty sure of it. It doesn't really say on these sets here, on these two volumes here, but it was around 2014, 2013-14, I would say, that we finally started to get some DVD releases. And now this was after Shout Factory had acquired the licensing for DVD distributing from not just Hasbro, but from Saban Entertainment as well. This is after Saban, who had been bought out by Disney, had basically bought the rights back to several of the properties, even the licensed out properties, or even the properties that were licensed out to them. And so they were able to now deal with other companies and home video distributors elsewhere. So, long story short, just like with Hasbro made a deal with Shout Factory, Saban Entertainment did the same thing. And so in response to them now being out of Disney's stranglehold on them, or stronghold on them, and able to like venture out and do the work with other people, we finally did get a few volumes of the series. The first volume we got was basically the DVD version, or the DVD release of East Meets West. that was the first one we got. And in addition, it had 2 other episodes, which was The Staff of Bukai and Silver and Gold. And that was basically it right there. In a nutshell, there was nothing on the back or anything. Just this is what it was in a nutshell. Oh, sorry, but this is what it was in a nutshell right here. But yeah, that's what it was in a nutshell. There was nothing else on the back or anything. So that was it. That was one of the volumes I knew of, or at least that was one of the releases. And then I saw this. I think this was either at my job or I think I got this at my job. I'm not really sure. And this contained, again, 1 disc. And it contained the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, final 6 episodes, including the 2-part crossover with the Power Rangers. And you can kind of see that on the back there, on the front there, of them advertising that. So that's basically what that was. That's basically what that was. So we hadn't gotten an actual complete series release. We only had like 2 volumes, I believe. This is basically how I think a lot of Shout Factories was, and a lot of series were at that time. At the time, and even now, before they released a complete set, because I think they wanted to test the waters to see if maybe fans wanted to see more. And obviously they did. And I think they also did this in conjunction with the fact that the new movie comes out next week. And what we got was, finally, the complete series on DVD. We got the complete series on DVD. As you can see right there. Got the complete series. And yes, it even includes the crossover episode and a music video. So that's kind of surprising. I didn't know they made a music video, but yeah, they have a music video and the 2-part crossover with the Power Rangers. The only problem with mine, even though I got it at my job, is a little crack right there. So it's still okay, but still. But as you can see, it has a slipcover. So if you like things with slipcovers, and Zara Nizrak, I'm talking about you. You can get it with that. Now here it is, right here. Basically the same art on the front and the back, and sides. And on the front, on the inside, we have the listing of what episodes are by what disc. So here's the episodes for disc 1 and disc 2. And as you can see, it's not much in cover art. It's basically the same kind of cover art we had on the other volumes. The only difference is they number the disc. Like here's disc 1, and here's disc 2, and then here we have volume 2, which is disc 1, and again disc 2. Now, what that obviously means is this has been or will be released in 2 different volumes. So if you can't get the whole thing, they're going to separate it, or they have separated it. And then right here, we have the listing for what's on disc 3 and 4, even though they call them disc 1 and 2, which is kind of weird. But again, I think it's because they're going to be selling it, or are selling it, in different volumes. So, but yeah, here's I think that's a little bit of a continuity thing there, Shout Factory. But that's what's on disc 3. Those are the episodes on disc 3 and on disc 4. And I think on disc 4 as well, we get the crossover episode right there with the Power Rangers in Space, as well as a music video. And I think that's on the last disc. So, yeah, the only error right there is it says that it tells you that there's 4 discs, that it's disc 3 and 4 right there. But instead, they actually name them disc 2 and 1 on volume 2. So think they need to switch that up a little bit, if you will. But overall, not bad. I mean, I got it for about, I think, $12.96 or something. Of course, less with my discount. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out. Getting it if you're a Ninja Turtle fan. And kind of completing somewhat the complete the first generation of Turtles, if you want to have a connection between the animated series and the live action movies in some way, this is the way to go. So, and oh, by the way, I did watch that one thing, that conspiracy video that I can't think of the channel right now that did it, or the girl that did it, but she basically indicated, because the person creating the new series has somewhat indicated it in a tweet to her, that all Ninja Turtles are canon. Thus, guess what? This is canon. Yeah, so basically Venus de Milo is part of the continuity. When it comes to this. So we might even see her in the future. Who knows? But that's all I'm going to say, folks. Let me know what you think down below. Comment if you like. And I am out.